She's trying now to get Dr. Miller on the line. Reverend Johnny Branch, where are you? Come on. Reverend Branch deals with, he and Reverend Stanley deal with the data entry of the fund, of the retirement fund. Both of them deal with the data entry. The only part that they're covering today is that part, the data entry portion of the presentation. What happens when the money comes to the office, how the money is banked, when, where it goes, when after it is banked, when and how the money, the names are entered into the Westpac, and what happens at the draw of the money. They're going to say that very quickly, and then we're going to let you ask whatever questions you ask of them concerning that part of it, and we'll be through.
Good afternoon, Bishop Davis, and on this day, we thank God for the privilege of being able to share and to serve with regards to the 2nd Episcopal District's retirement plan and fund. I have with me on this afternoon Reverend Stanley Wright, Troy Thomas. Reverend Thomas is our liaison with Westpac and the Alien churches. A wealth of knowledge for Reverend Wright and myself, so he's able to join us on today, Bishop. God bless you. Good afternoon again, everyone. Simply want to share the fact that when your monies for the retirement plan are submitted to the 2nd Episcopal District, and again, I want to emphasize that you ought to make your checks payable to the 2nd Episcopal District. Dr. Vanetta Bryce received those. She creates a report, and that report is submitted to, sent to myself and Wright, and we simply upload that information directly into Westpac's system. Reverend Wright and myself, we're not able to access your personal retirement account. We simply upload a file, and Westpac then changes that information and uploads it to your individual accounts. And generally, the process will begin based on your annual conference series or annual conference. And whenever you look at your statement, any payments that are credited to your account will indicate a date of your annual conference, as well as when we'll have, like we said, a winter meeting, Bishop. So again, that's when the information is uploaded to your account. And again, you can go into your own account at any time and see if your payment has been posted. And again, that's how we do it. Once we upload the information to Westpac's platform, Westpac will then draw down whatever monies that are in the account to post to your individual accounts. So again, that's pretty much what we do on behalf of the 2nd Episcopal District and on behalf of you, the members and participants in the retirement plan.
We have this mounting responsibility now. When the money, I think that the district needs to be aware of the fact that when you don't give the money to the presiding elders on time, if you fail to give the presiding elders the money on time, or they fail to turn it in on time, it slows up everything. It eventually happens, but it slows everything up. They can't post until the conference monies come in. They're not there to post every day. And so we ask you to do right and get the money. We give the latitude to the presiding elders to make the announcement to you about when the money is due, when the funds are due from you, because they have dates that I've given them for when it's due to my office. They're asking for it because they know your regularity and promptness in getting it done. You understand what I'm trying to say? Don't be late. If you're late, then we get all of these calls, why ain't my money been posted yet? You know, it's because we haven't gotten the money in yet. You understand? And so is that not accurate?
Absolutely, Bishop.
They're not there every day to post money. It is actually, it goes through a 3-level process. Actually, the church gives it to you, you report it to the presiding elders. The presiding elders report it to my office. My office, which is Miss Dr. Bryce, actually enters every dime, take pictures of every check, and then makes it available, the list and all available to the data entry persons. That it's a wicked system. It goes through a lot of process, and so we ask you to be concerned about getting it on time.
A couple of other observations, Bishop Davis, if I might. At the conclusion of our annual conference series, of the eligible pastors who were able to contribute to the retirement plan, only 66% of the pastors actually contributed, meaning there's 34% of pastors who did not contribute to your retirement plan. And so we would like to encourage everyone to make it a point to have your church contribute money on your behalf to your retirement plan. Secondly, with regards to contributions, the monies that are being contributed by your local church, that is going to be handled and taxed one way. But some may want to play what is called catch-up. If you want to invest in additional monies in your retirement plan, we also suggest that you do that as well. However, when you send those monies in to play catch-up, we ask that you would let Dr. Bryce know when you submit those funds that this is catch-up money, because there are different tax implications for your catch-up money. And so please make that distinction when you submit your contributions, or when you do your catch-up money with your presiding elder. Let your presiding elder know this is catch-up and this is for my regular retirement account. And lastly, Bishop and everyone, we ask that please go into your retirement account with Westpac. Activate the account, and part of your activating the account is to assign who your beneficiaries will be. It makes no sense for us to unfortunately pass and then your retirement monies have to go into probate. If you assign beneficiaries now, then there will be no need for probating your retirement funds. And so again, if you would sign up and then activate your account, and then if you send in your catch-up payments, Bishop, I think that concludes our...
All right, we have time for 3 questions, and if you're going to raise those questions, please stand now. 3 questions, if there be any. These are the places where you ask the questions. You need to call me to ask, because I don't know. 3 questions. If you're going to ask one, please ask now. 3 questions. I see Reverend Wade and Reverend Murphy. All right.
Bishop, good afternoon. I actually made a deposit, the deposit was made in the 2nd Episcopal District's account on April the 2nd. Now, according to Westpac, there's 10 days, and there was a tremendous delay from the time that it was actually deposited in the 2nd Episcopal District account until it got to Westpac, which was on the 16th of June, which means that we've lost 4.9% interest during that period of time. This seems to be a cumbersome process where money can be transferred electronically directly to Westpac, and the districts can receive reports in a timely fashion. That's what happens in the United Methodist Church.
And I'm so happy you mentioned that, and I would really hope that you would encourage your brothers and sisters to do as you do and pay on time. Because the process is one that we're not making the process. It is governed by what is given to us. and we're doing what is asked of us to do, the process that you talk about. And so, and certainly, I welcome you to encourage brothers and sisters to get it in on time so that we get it into the bank on time and report it on time. I'm in agreement with you. Let's do it on time. Here is the only other question that was standing. This is the only other question that's standing.
Good afternoon. My question is, coming into the ministry, where do we begin to the process of that?
How do you sign up?
Yes, sir. And who do we sign up?
Please tell us how that process works, would you please?
Yes. Members of the body, we will prefer that when you first come into the ministry as a clergy or to pastor, that you would request a form from the Second Episcopal District, meaning myself or Reverend Wright, and we ask that you would make your request not to our personal email accounts, I will provide you with an email address that the entire conference can use at this time, which is the number 2, as in the district office staff at gmail.com. Or you can make a request to get the form from your presiding elder, and they can forward that information to myself or to Reverend Wright.
All right, that's it.
Is that it?
Thank you. Did you get that, Reverend Murphy? Yes, sir. All right, thank you so very much. God bless you. Appreciate you. Thank you for your guidance. We have Reverend Dr. Jimmy Miller on because there have been questions raised about how and what this life insurance and how you access the life insurance and whether or not the life insurance will send you documentation of the same. How much is the life insurance? How do you file a claim with it? There are abundance of questions that I thought better for you to answer, Dr. Miller, than we stumble across and stumble over with inaccurate information. Would you please start there and talk about the life insurance process? Dr. Miller? Oh.
Bishop, I need to hear that.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I wonder.
Okay. There have been a number of questions on how persons are to apply or at least file a claim about the life insurance. It does not get filed through my office, nor does my office have anything to do with the life insurance process. How much does the life insurance cost? Who is eligible for it? How will the life insurance company send directly to its participants any documentation showing that they are insured? And they may have other questions, but those are the ones that keep coming to my office. And how long it takes to actually file a claim, for a claim to be paid.
Let me tackle the process first, and then I'll get to the documentation, and then I'll come up with the cost at the end. First of all, when a death occurs, and we hereby will reach out to the family of the deceased once we confirm that they have their premium up to date. And we will forward the beneficiaries a copy of a distribution packet where they can make their claim. And we will verify all the information with them in terms of the benefit amount and so on, anything they want to know, how they want to get it and so on. They will return that packet to us and we forward it to Principal Life. After that, we have nothing to do with it, but we can say that we expedite all of the claims, certainly for death with life insurance, And the life insurance company deals directly with the beneficiary after that. And they send the beneficiary, any information that once they clarify it. And then they will send the check to us, and we will forward that check to the beneficiary. We want to make sure that we have accurate documentation that the check has been sent. We keep a copy of the check and put it in the participant's file. So, in short, we're notified one way or the other. We require a death certificate. We send the packet to the beneficiary. They send it back and make sure all the documentation is appropriate. We forward it to Principal Life, and then Principal Life contacts the beneficiaries and confirms things again, and then the check is sent to us. We document it's received on that process. We send it to the beneficiary. We'll call the beneficiary to let them know that we received it and it is in the mail. That was the first thing on the process that we had. Secondly, in terms of notification, when your premium is received, which means you processed it through the district, and we have received the list of persons and a check that balances with the list for your coverage. We pay a quarterly premium here, and that's how we are currently operating. So we have an accurate list every 6 months of who has paid and who has not. So we are then able to verify coverage without the database, without going through who died and may still be on there 20 years ago, or whatever the case may be. We have a list of active people who have paid and whose premiums are current. So, for instance, if there was a notification to the office for somebody who had not paid their premium and who was not covered, it would not be paid. It wouldn't matter whether they were pastors for 20 years or if they were dead and somebody was trying to see if the benefit was still here. It's based on, it's a term life insurance group in life, and it's dependent on the premiums being kept current. Okay. So that list is in every district because they're the ones that send us the list of and the checks of maybe the district, maybe the elders, but that information is kept here. Now we are getting software from Principal now that is going to allow every participant to have a number that you can go into the portal and you can see the specifics in terms of your coverage and benefits and so on and so forth. So we're installing that now, and with the insurance company's help. And you should be hearing about that shortly. We're very happy with the new agreement that we have with the insurance company. Now the cost has not, this is the last part, the cost has not gone up in 4 years. And this current contract that we have is good for 3 years. And I know everyone is aware of inflation. And so we are currently now, based on the contract, based on the number of persons who are active, and the funds that we're receiving, it's going to be a change in the previous premium. So I don't want to, we're working feverishly on this now. And it should be finished in the next week or so. But we will be communicating what the new fee is for the second half of the year. We hope to get that information out to you. We have to get it out to you before this round of annual conferences begin. But it will not be onerous or burdensome, and we're very thankful that the coverage we have and the premiums that we will pay are way under market. This coverage with AAA or AARP would be nearly 3 times annually of what we pay. So especially when you consider the age group of our participants. So you'll be getting that information on what the fee is, along with all of the calculations. I know we want to be sure that everything's being done properly and that's above board and transparent.
All right, thank you so very much. Let me ask those of you who have questions for Reverend Miller concerning the life insurance, would you stand now? We have time for 4 questions, and if you would stand, if you have a question, stand now. If you have a question, stand now. All right, I see 2 people standing. There's a 3rd. Okay, I see 3 people standing. And Reverend Miller, would you take time out to receive their questions? All right, Reverend Ball.
Yes, Dr. Miller, the question is, at the time of receipt of the payment showing coverages in place, is there a way electronically or by mail that the covered persons can receive notification from your office that we are covered?
Well, the portal, you cannot do that now because what we're doing is we want you to be able to electronically confirm everything. So we'll carry the question back in terms of, but see, it's a term policy based on current premium, so if we sent you something, it would almost have to be every 6 months or at least a year, and that would be changing. So it's better accountability for you to be able to go into the portal and see. We just like Westpac, you are your best accountability because you can go in and see everything. And that's the way it's going to work with principal. So we have going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 more or less participants. And we're not able to send out a statement right now to the regularity that we would. But we will be getting notification of the new system, and we can always verify for individuals. Now, if everybody sends in, because it's sound individual, then we'll change that. But if you have a problem or question because your beneficiary may have changed and you didn't change it, or you want to change it, or you want to make sure that everything is correct, we can call in and we can give you that over the phone. But I would wait until the insurance company gives us this for that electronic board. Mm-hmm.
All right, Reverend Benjamin.
Yes, Dr. Miller, maybe my understanding is wrong, but my understanding is that a term policy has a lifespan. So if that is the case, what is the term on these policies? Because after that, you have to roll it over or get a new policy. I'm not sure how that would work, but I do understand, maybe wrongly, that term policies have an expiration.
You are absolutely correct. That's an excellent question. The term is your active pastor. That is the term for the insurance. So as long as you are an active pastor and you're a premium, it doesn't matter what your ordination is, you could be a licentiate. But if you are an active pastor and your church pays the premium for you, then you are covered, okay? And of course, this contract, as I just said, was renewed. It was a 4-year contract. Now this one was renewed for 3 years. It has to continue to be renewed or we get another insurance company. But, you will always have this coverage as long as you are an active pastor, okay? And, that's really the answer to your question. Now, when you retire, you do have the opportunity of converting. Retire or sever from the church in any way. You have the option of converting it so that you can keep it. You can keep the term at a little more. It does cost more when you come out of the group. Or you can also convert it to whole life, which is going to be a little more, but then you've got a return that's a little different than a term life. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. If I never received a copy of the insurance policy or the declaration page, is there a way to get a copy of it?
Well, there's a way to get a copy of it, but this is what, there's a lot of misinformation going around, and of course everybody's got thoughts on everything. But in terms of what is going on with the department and insurance, the insurance policy is a group insurance policy. So the department is covered for the number of participants. So we're the ones that's covered. You as an individual and me as an individual, Principal Life doesn't know we exist. But they have agreed to cover so many thousand people, you see. And they've done all their work to know how many they think through their actuarial are going to go every year and so on. That's how they set the premium. So you do not have, and I do not have an individual policy. The church through the department has the policy. And when, say for instance, the Lord might call any of us home before our active pastor is over, and the department will get the death certificate and the documentation and send it over to principal, that's the first time they heard that person was alive. But they have an active contract with us, and so whoever we send it over to them, up to that amount they say they would cover. That's how the claims get processed.
All right, those were the two questions. I want to thank you, Dr. Miller. You explained well. And what did you say? Everybody thinks about, how did you put that thing? Just let all of us know, you know, we think what we want to think, but these are the facts of it. I want to thank you for getting on. You're always accommodating and willing to come on and shed light where there's darkness, and certainly help us to keep from getting more confused, because everybody has their own way of thinking. Thank you so very much for your time. Give Dr. Miller a hand.